And we're live, study
Okay.
skills session number 7, Northstar College.
Okay. Welcome everyone to the 7th installment of the Study Skills sessions run by Northstar College and myself, Dylan Anderson. I am the curriculum coordinator at Northstar College, and I'm very happy to bring you these sessions in hopes to help you become a more independent learner. And you and be in more control of your English studying. So today we're talking about the topic of brainstorming. What is brainstorming? Brainstorming is the skill of creating new ideas or solutions to problems. It can help you organize your thoughts when you write, but it is a valuable tool for all other skills. Brainstorming provides a warm-up so you can use your best possible ideas in a task. So especially when writing, if you're given an assignment to write maybe a paragraph or an essay, it can be difficult to start, immediately from the writing, because you need to organize your thoughts, you need to organize your ideas. So brainstorming is really what helps you organize those ideas and those thoughts. And it can also be kind of a warm up to any certain tasks that you're doing, whether it be listening or speaking or anything else really. So today we will discuss 5 or 6, I think, different types of brainstorming. Not everyone thinks in the same way, so some may work better for others. I want to give you a variety of different ways to organize your thoughts so that, if one works for you, you can do that one. If another one doesn't work for you, you can choose that option instead. And so you have a lot of different options to choose from. The first kind of brainstorming is what I call free writing. So when you free write, you just let anything you think about, any thought, just write it down. Even if you think it's like, worthless or it's stupid or something, like write anything down. And then what you do is you do that for either like a time limit, like you'll write anything you think, you'll write it down for like 15 minutes, or you set a space limit. So you're going to say, I'm going to write for one notebook page. Once I fill up this page, I'm going to finish writing. And when you are done, you can sort out, you can go back and look at everything you wrote, and you can sort things into useful or things that are not useful. Also, you can maybe see patterns, maybe like you kind of wrote in accordance to one topic, but the different parts were in different places, so you can start to organize them more. So free writing is, has really no structure except for time or space, and you just kind of write anything you can. The next kind is probably what most people think of when they hear the word brainstorming. And so if you look at the photo, it kind of gives you a little bit of a template to use. So, you would draw like a circle in the middle, and you put your main idea there. So say you're writing an essay about social media, or like the positive and negative. So maybe one of the positive effects of social media, for example. So you write positive effects of social media in the middle, draw a circle around it, kind of like this photo here. And then you kind of branch out with different ideas. So, you have one idea going off one side, one idea going off another side. And then you can keep doing that. If you have 3 more ideas related to one idea, you can, draw one line and then 3 more lines, and then, a line off of each of those, and you can keep, kind of organizing your ideas in that way. And so it's a really common way that most teachers will teach brainstorming, and it works for most people, but it might not work for everyone. So the next kind of brainstorming I would call journalistic questions. So in this technique, you write different questions starting with how, when, why, where, what, and who. It's kind of similar to free writing. It's given, of course, you have a little more structure. So similar to free writing, think of as many questions as you can, good or bad, and after a time limit or a page limit, you go back and you find the best questions. So it's kind of similar to free writing in that you don't care if what you're writing is good or bad. You know, you just write any thought that you have, any question that you have, you write it down on the paper, and then you go back afterwards and kind of look through what you wrote. Now, this can also be helpful if you do like a listening exercise. So maybe you're doing a listening exercise, you know what the topic is, right? You know it's maybe two people speaking in a restaurant, right? And before you listen, you can write questions that you think the listening will answer. So like, you know, how did they get to the restaurant? Why are they at the restaurant? Where are they? What restaurant is it? Who are they with? Who are the people? And it can help you to become a little bit more engaged. I think we may have spoken about this in the listening video. Yeah, so journalistic questions, thinking of the questions before you do the task can kind of help you with almost every sort of task. It's really just another way of kind of warming up your mind, another way of thinking before you start doing something. The next one is really very simple. This one is more similar to the clustering, the webbing, the mapping. This one right here, it's kind of similar to this, but it looks different. If you have here, it says rather than draw a map, some people prefer to brainstorm by listing their ideas. So just writing a list, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then, of course, kind of in the similar way, you go back after you're done, after 10 minutes, after 15 minutes, kind of like sort out like the best ideas that you had and sort out the least, you know, kind of like the worst ideas that you had. So yeah, so sometimes this works for people. I personally kind of go by this a little bit more. I think in this very simple way, you know. I'm not very creative, I guess. I like just writing down my ideas in a list and then choosing the best one. The next one, cubing. This might be a little bit more like advanced, I guess. Cubing, it's called cubing because it's a 6-sided approach to a topic. So you kind of look at one topic from 6 sides. So if we take our social media example, social, you know, like social media is good for society or something like that. First, we can describe it. What does it look like? What are its characteristics? What are the first things you notice about it? So, of course, social media isn't like a physical thing, right? So maybe you could say it looks like you're picturing like a Facebook page, or you're picturing a Twitter page, you're picturing Instagram, something like that. Maybe the first things you notice about it, pictures, or, you know, like a wall of posts, you know, who knows. Compare it. What is it similar to? What is it different from? So the second aspect of it is compare it. Now that's going to be kind of like, you know, comparing social media. Some people say social media is kind of like the new like public square, like whereas like before technology, people would go to the center of town and they would speak to others and like give announcements and things like that. So it's kind of, maybe you could compare it across time, like what, and 300 years ago, what was their social media, right? So you can compare it like that. Associate it is the third one. So associate is kind of like about relationships. So what does it remind you of? How does it connect with your individual life, with the life of your family or community? And so, you know, kind of associate it maybe to your personal life, to your family life, to your life in the society. What kind of part does it play? Good. This the fourth and the fourth dimension, I guess we can come at this with, is analyze it. Look deeper. What is it made of? How does it work? Social media, I think of an algorithm that gives us certain ads, gives us certain information based on our history on the website, something like that. Apply it. What is it used for? Who uses it? That's the fifth one. What is it used for? It's used for communication. It's used for business. It's used for connecting people from around the world, something like that. And then the sixth one is, you can say, argue for or against it. Do you think it's a good thing generally? Do you think it's a bad thing generally? So this is if you're probably writing kind of a larger paper, kind of a larger essay, and you need to really do a lot of brainstorming before you write, and you need a lot of organization happening. So this is like 6 different things: describe it, compare it, associate it, analyze it, apply it, and argue for and against it. So yeah, that's it for the brainstorming. So think about which one you like the best. I gave different options and approaches because some people like certain methods more than others. The next time you're trying to think of ideas or how to expand on a topic, try these different methods to see which one works best for you. And then you can just kind of stick with that one. And this will definitely give you an advantage in the classroom if you're doing, really any sort of activity. It can give you kind of a warm-up. You're doing kind of an extra step compared to the other students. So yeah, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. You can contact us through email or phone. It's at the bottom of the page if you have any questions about Northstar College. And I will see you next week for the 8th episode or installment video session, the study skills session. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.